first session, we want to introduce you to basic concepts of energy, like the forms of energy, the types, renewable energy, electric power, just some basic forms of energy and its general concepts. Define energy as the ability or the capacity to do work. Whether you drive your car to school, you make use of energy. So these are the forms of energy that we mentioned earlier. The first one is the electrical energy, as we can see from our electric bulbs. Mechanical energy that's related to motion. Heat energy related to burning of fossil fuels or burning of gas or wood. Chemical energy from chemicals. Wind energy, and there are other forms of energy like wind that you can convert to electric power using a wind turbine. Sound energy, and definitely atomic or nuclear energy. So this is a basic, this is a graph showing the energy consumption of different countries. What we want you to know from this image or the map is that energy consumption of any nation is linked to the productivity of that country. It's linked to the wealth of that country. As we can see, the countries that are in red, like in the US and Canada, they consume a lot of energy compared to countries like, say, Kenya or Uganda, or even Nigeria. Nigeria, despite the population, we can see that our energy consumption is not that much. So if we wanted to become more productive, we need to consume more energy. We need to produce more and then consume more. This is how we rank when we compare the activity, the energy consumption of Nigeria with other countries on the scale bar. We can see the US has about 7,000 kilogram of oil equivalent, where we have Nigeria has just like 700, so an order of magnitude less. This is telling us that Nigeria is consuming far less, even though our population is almost half of that of the US. We consume 10 orders of magnitude less. So these are where every nation or any country get their energy from. They either get it from wind turbine, hydro. I know Nigeria do have hydro from the Kanji Dam and Shiroro Dam, very close to Kwara State and Niger State. We have the nuclear. Nigeria do not have nuclear, but countries like France, United States, they make use of nuclear power. Also coal. Nigeria used to have coal power plant, and of course petroleum, oil and gas. So there are other forms that is not shown here. Let me show you the next slide. Other forms are from wind, using the wind turbine. Solar, we'll be talking more about solar. And of course tidal power, which is energy that you get from ocean current. So the basic SI unit of energy, when you're talking about energy and you want to quantify energy, is given in joules, and that is Newton per times meter. So Newton meter, that's the formula for the SI unit of energy. Power is related to energy, but it's defined as the rate of energy. So it's joules per second, and its unit is watt. So just to give you an idea, the energy released when one apple falls 1 meter to the ground is what they call a joule. And it takes about 15 joules for a young man like you for your daily upkeep. So you need 15 joules of energy consumption. While your phone requires like 2 orders of magnitude less. So let's say around 0.15 joules to charge your phone. So you can see that you consume more in terms of food and upkeep compared to your phone.
energy comes from. The three major fossil fuels, coal, oil and natural gas, are all formed from organic remains of prehistoric plants and animals. These remains are subject to intense pressure over millions of years, changing them into coal, oil and gas. We often find oil and natural gas in similar areas, hundreds of meters below the seabed, though gas is usually found deeper still. Through seismology, it's possible to artificially create vibrations on the surface by using controlled explosions, and record how these vibrations are reflected back to the surface, revealing the properties of the rock layers beneath. Wells are drilled from a drilling rig to confirm the presence and quantity of gas in the rock, which travels up lengths of pipe once reached. If there is enough gas, the drilling rig is replaced by a production platform to collect and send it to the shore under pressure via pipeline. National Grid then takes the gas from the shore and sends it around the countryside through steel pipelines over 1 metre wide. As the gas gets closer to homes, the pipelines split into smaller ones, which may only be 20 millimetres wide. How electricity is made. Atoms consist of a positively charged central nucleus and negatively charged electrons, which float around the outside in much the same way as satellites orbit the Earth. When groups of atoms form materials, such as metals, electrons are free to move and flow, jumping between the atoms. These materials are known as conductors. This movement or flow of electrons is what we know as electricity. Power stations work by turning mechanical energy, movement, into electrical energy. A mechanical force turns a turbine, which rotates large magnets within coils of wire, and this induces electrical current, generating electricity. Electricity generators can be powered in a number of ways. Burning fossil fuels, coal, oil and natural gas are traditional fuels but are harmful to the environment and cause climate change. Plutonium can be split to create nuclear energy. This method can produce huge amounts of electricity, but nuclear material is unstable and requires very careful management, and disposal of byproducts is difficult. Biomass is a renewable source of energy, including natural substances such as wood, organic waste, hydrogen gas and alcohol fuels. There are also other fuels which are renewable and are better for the environment. Wind power can harness the wind to turn the turbines and generate electricity. Hydropower uses the power and weight of water to turn the turbines. Solar power can also be used to generate electricity by capturing the sun's energy. National Grid can take the electricity generated from any of these sources, putting it into the network that eventually delivers electricity to home.
So you can basically see the overview of different generation sources for energy. You can recall it, she mentioned coal, natural gas and petroleum. Others are nuclear, because nuclear is very good, generates a lot of electricity or power or energy, but it's harmful to the environment, same as coal, petroleum, because they cause climate change. But the other sources, which is categorized as renewable energy, like solar, wind, they are much better. So this gives you an overview. So you can see renewable energy. It means that the energy that can be replenished. If you look at, take for example the sun shines every day. So if you tap the energy of the sun today, it will still be available tomorrow. But for fossil fuel or petroleum or natural gas, they have a specific quantity. So you cannot replenish them, and that's why they consider them non-renewable energy. The same for coal. So when you tap energy from coal, you have a specific amount of coal in deposit. So the more you use it, the more you deplete it, and that affects the energy sources available to future generations. That is why many people today are advocating for the renewable energy, because it's always there. Wind will always be there, sun will always be there, water will always be there. And so you can tap energy from solar, from wind energy, from geothermal from the ground, from the heat from the ground. So in the course of our discussion, we will be talking a lot about renewable energy, because that is where we feel should be the direction for Nigeria. Not only do they give energy, they also protect the environment. They are not harmful to the environment. For example, when you burn natural gas or coal, they produce carbon dioxide or methane that affect contributes to global warming and several emissions. So we just will be showing you how these energies are related, and then we'll be having some practical sessions on that. So this is a map of the world taken from space at night, and you can see some places are dark where some places are shiny. It shows electric power. You can see US, most part of the US where a lot of people reside, and Europe has a lot of power. But you can see it looks like most part of Africa is in darkness. And that's a challenge for you and I, because 70% of Africans do not have access to electricity. And this is a big challenge, because now Africa cannot move forward without access to electric power or energy. So we want to challenge you. That's the challenge of forming this club, so that you can think about how that darkness can be shifted into, a city like this, a country like this. Think about Lagos like this. Think about Abuja like this. Think about Port Harcourt, Ibadan. Think about how you will be able to do this. So that's the challenge to you, and that is why this class, this club is formed. So in this first class, we hope that you get a feel of what the program is all about, and you have the chance to interact with other members of your class. We also encourage you to go to Facebook, www.facebook.com, and Google and check for the Future Energy Leaders Club. Like the page. We want to connect with you. We want to see your suggestion. We want to see what contributions you want to make. Thank you.